Okay guys, you can tell what it is because it's written on there. But can you tell what's been majorly changed on here? I mean major change. Those of you that have one can probably tell immediately, and those of you that have seen them may have to take a double look. What I did is I dropped the body a lot, about 3 inches. So let's have a closer look and see how it's done. And I can tell you it has made a major difference. We just had a little bit of fun in the garden, and it's amazing how different it handles and crawls. The thing that I also did, which is pretty obvious, I put chains on, basically because I just made them and I wanted to try them out. But let me tell you, if there's no snow and no ice, then they're not very helpful. They're just a pain in the butt. They slip on rock and they don't do much, and they don't give you a rubber a chance to grip. So basically they're useless until we get some snow. But this being British Columbia, Canada, we're gonna get some snow, and if not, we can find some pretty close by. Let's take the body off and show you what I did. As you can tell, the mounting posts are through the top of the body. So that's definitely different. They used to be on the side. You can still see the holes, but they're not there anymore. And of course that had to happen because of dropping it down. So I took the pins out already, and there is the space underneath. What I showed you in the first video I did, that I moved the ESC to below the battery tray, and I sort of cut the post a little bit for the battery holder, and then I took 2 of the side posts and I mounted them right there, and one right there. So those are drilled through the battery tray, and that's what's holding the body level. I tried to do it without, but that didn't work very well. So anyway, so that gave me the opportunity to drop the body down, which of course lowers the center of gravity, and when it rolls over it's more likely to flip back on its feet, which has happened a couple of times. Now, that made a major difference, but I did a whole bunch of other things. One of the things that I've been researching with RC trucks, and I know it's quite relevant in race trucks, is the camber and caster of the gear. And well, these things were set up like totally opposite of what you think it should have been. So I ended up moving the links to positions where it did a little better. So now I actually have proper caster in the front and almost proper caster in the rear. Now the rear is probably not quite as critical, but I definitely changed the angle. I don't know if you can see it, where the drive shaft goes in. You can see that the input is pointing up a little bit, which means it gives me a proper caster. Camber on this truck is not really adjustable, and I don't think for crawling that it is that important. That becomes important with speed, and I don't think that's going to be a big deal. So the other thing I did is that I changed around the link and the shock, as I did in the front already, in order to give me more steering space. I also did that in the back. I learned from some other YouTubers that adds to the stability of the truck. And oh no, it was on CKRC website. That gives you more stability to the truck, and that should help. So the other thing that I still have to do is to come up with a better base plate. I might just get the suspension upgrade kit from CKRC. They're actually pretty good with their stuff, and they have a nice upgrade kit, so I might just go for that and add some different springs and stuff. Although I still have some springs that came with the kit that I haven't tried out yet, but they say they have different rate springs that actually help. So anyway, back to the steering and back to the caster. I'm not really sure if you can see this, but if you look at it, you can possibly tell that there is definitely some difference in angle with the caster. Unfortunately, what that did is that the driveline angle is actually negatively impacted in the front, so it's actually pointing down a little bit now. But I don't think it's a major issue. It wasn't a whole lot, so it should be okay. So that was done, and I fiddled around with the wiring a little bit. I taped that up a little bit better because it was getting hooked on branches and stuff. And I fastened the battery a little bit more because the clamp doesn't work anymore with the body the way it sits. I had to come up with something different. So for now, it's just a giant elastic that holds it together. So anyway, there you go. As you can tell, the snow chains, well, I think I did a pretty nice job. I used 2 different sizes of chain, one for going over and one for going on the side of both wheels, and I got nice little clips in there. Oh, can we find one here? There's one right there to hook them together, so that it's holding up pretty good. It's sticking in there pretty good, and I ripped them through the grass pretty good, and they didn't come off or move around too much, so that should work pretty well in the snow, I think. So anyway, so there we go again. I hope this gives somebody that has these trucks some ideas to try some new approaches. And I'm going to look for some more upgrade stuff and see if we can find more ways to improve this ultra cheap but certainly capable little crawler. One of the things is you're looking right at the bumper there. I'm going to put a flat aluminum skid plate, well, flat, bend around the front, to replace that silly bumper that gets caught in the rocks and everything else. It really isn't very helpful. It's kind of a piece of junk. So we're just going to go and see what we can do there. Anyway, go crawling, guys.